studios in Brea, California, here is the Doyledin podcast.
You know, and then you had, I mean, might as well go into Raw, right? Are we going to go into Raw?
Yeah, we can go into Raw right now.
You know, and how it opened with Gunther. And, you know, even people criticizing that, you know, but they're watching. Some people who were bitching and complaining about the finish on Saturday night's main event and how WWE sucks now, and that they're commenting on what happened on Raw, which means they're still watching. So It got them riled up enough that they want to see what's going to happen on Raw, and they want to see the fallout of this, which is perfectly how it was played. And, you know, criticizing, see, Gunther got out of the ring. He couldn't even stand in there. He had to get out of the ring and then go back again. It's like, that's the point. I mean, some of the stuff I'm reading is just like so insane. And
it feels like they haven't took the time to actually watch a wrestling match.
Or understand how psychology works. I mean, one thing, you know, I was always taught that there was psychology, you know, and I didn't grasp it fully till later. But it's psychology. It's like, okay, you're pissing them off. You said what you said about Cena, you call him a bitch, and then you leave. And now I hate you. Go on, get out of here. And now you're gonna come back. Oh, what's that? This guy's coming. Yeah, he's driving the people nuts. And then he leaves, and he comes back, and it's like, holy moly!
I thought that was great.
That was great. I mean, he got everybody heated.
I was hoping he would kind of do just to get some more heat. Is do a little like hand motion like Jey Uso, and then go back into the ring.
That would have been funny.
I thought that would have given him lots of heat if he would have done that.
Yeah.
But he did tap out against Jey Uso, so maybe that's why they didn't have him do that.
Yeah. But of course then he's told to get out of the arena, right? And the cameras follow him, so you know something's coming. And there's AJ Styles, you know.
On Gunther's car.
Yeah, you know. So now you know with AJ retiring this year, most likely, we're going to see the same thing. And then we have a new gimmick here with Gunther, where he's just retiring people left and right. And like you said earlier, you know, then the next big baby face will come along, and he'll be the guy that eventually beat Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
And that will get that guy over even more so. And that's the psychology of wrestling.
And it better not be Jey Uso.
No.
Better not
it'll
be
Jey
Uso.
Kid. No, it'll be a new talent. It'll be an up-and-coming talent. You know, maybe Joe Hendry. I don't know. I don't even think it would be him.
Joe Hendry.
That was his name. I was sure he wasn't here.
That was one of that was our predictions for an entry into the Last Time Is Now tournament, but he never showed up.
Well, on Saturday night's main event, The Miz came out and was pissed because he was taken out, and somebody else was given a spot, and then Joe Hendry was supposed to be in it apparently, and then he came out. Because they said his name, and so he was supposed to be in it. That storyline was, but it was a good filler spot where Miz got beat up by R-Truth and Joe Hendry. But anyway, you know, I do believe he's going to retire AJ Styles, and he's going to retire Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton, which is the peak of this gimmick, because Randy Orton was the legend killer, and now Gunther's the legend killer. You know, so that's the peak, and that's where then you have the face come back or come up from the NXT ranks and get over and get that victory over Gunther. Maybe it's with the help of some of these legends that he retires. You know, who knows? That's a big rub right there, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously they have a long-term game plan here, because it wasn't just, the victory over Cena, because the next night they rolled right into AJ Styles. So they've got this long-term thing going, which is great. And the foresight to know where they are going with this, to make it work. And they got to baby it and make sure that they don't drop the ball. But so far, so good.
Yeah. We'll have to tune into next week's Raw. to find out how this will develop. And
Gunther's must see now. Gunther's must see.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you were saying. Now I have to tune in next week to see how this is going to develop.
Yep.
Is Gunther going to attack AJ Styles, or is he got banned from the arena? So now what's going to happen? And when somebody gets banned from the arena, you still stay tuned in because, is he going to come back in the main event or later in the night to attack somebody else? Because that's pro wrestling. That's being banned from the arena doesn't mean anything really. So I mean they're doing it right.
Yeah, I agree. Well, they're doing that right. What do you think they're doing wrong?
With who?
With anything. Do you think they're doing wrong with anything in general? Maybe anything that happened in Raw or whatever?
No, I thought Raw the night after was a solid show, top to bottom. I like that there. I don't know if the injury to LA Knight's legit or not. Either way, if it is, ouch, and I hope he's okay. If it's at work, then that's great to keep him out until the Rumble. And of course,
have him win it.
Bronson Reed is in the ring, and next out is LA Knight. He comes down and he beats the shit out of Bronson Reed and tosses him over the rope. And that's your Mania match is Bronson Reed and LA Knight. Unless
LA Knight wins.
No, I don't see LA Knight winning that.
Who do you see winning the Rumble?
Still Braun Breaker.
Okay.
So the match on January 5th, I think it is. Is it January 5th? Is him and Punk? That's gonna be a hot match, man, and that's gonna kind of get the feel for him and Punk for a main event at Mania. I think that LA Knight winning that, who's he going to challenge? Him challenging Punk doesn't make any sense. Two baby faces, unless Breaker wins against Punk here on January 5th. But him challenging Rhodes doesn't make sense either, unless Rhodes turns heel. So I think you need Braun Breaker to win the Royal Rumble, and he challenges Punk, of course, as a rematch, and he goes over in the main event at Mania. Love to see Braun Breaker walk out of Mania with the world title.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, I'm still going with Braun Breaker, who I called months ago, and I still think that this would have been his moment to turn if Seth Rollins hadn't got hurt. But now things have changed. I don't think that the idea of him not winning the Rumble, has changed. But
what if Gunther wins the Rumble? If he's in it.
Yeah, Gunther could, and he challenges Cody maybe.
Or Punk, and then Punk retires.
I mean, yeah, Gunther could be one of those guys, but I think no matter what, I think Gunther's going to be. I think his match at Mania is going to be the AJ Styles retirement match, or maybe even Brock Lesnar retirement match. And I think that's what you keep Gunther going for right now is in these moments of non-titles but big time storyline matches.
Yeah,
and that's the thing with WWE is they're creating this interest in Gunther, and it doesn't involve a title at all. It's completely its own storyline, and that's something they got to do with other wrestlers too. Is create these other, scenarios that while they're not, because there's so many people on the roster right now, and there's only so many titles. You don't want to create more titles because that just dwindles everything down, like AEW's done. But if you create other storylines that just keep your interest and keep their own separate little bubble, everybody wins.
Yeah,
and that was the genius of the Attitude Era. As much as people don't like Vince Russo, I thought he did great. I thought he did wonderful, creating a storyline for everybody and keeping everybody important. And if you do, then none of the shows is is missable. Everything is must watch, and they're on the right track right now. I think these last couple of weeks, and going in the right direction with the promos and the backstage stuff. You see more of that, and just in general, the in-ring work has been better too. I mean, we saw Maxine Dupree come back for her first match with, oh my gosh, I forget her name.
Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile. Gosh, yeah, that was a great match. I was solid. Maxine has improved for sure. And it was a good win for her. It was a great first win for the Intercontinental title, and they're putting importance onto that belt now. They didn't just have Maxine Dupree have these videos of her and Natty training for weeks for no reason. It's because she's the Intercontinental champion now, and it's this important where she's got to really hone her craft and and putting the emphasis on the belts that these people do have and the people that need the belt. Is what really is going to make people tune in more. There's nothing worse than putting a belt on somebody that doesn't need it, and then somebody who could benefit from it just dwindles in the mid card, and standing there just like, what am I doing? So making everybody important is huge.
Yeah, agreed. I think Maxine Dupree looks like a phenomenal wrestler. She's got the build. She's got it, and yeah. So I watched a little bit of her match. I thought it was pretty good, but yeah.
I think she's going to have some great matches down the line with some of the other talents that are more technically sounded.
Yeah.
Not that the match wasn't a technical match. It had some good moves, but she's definitely broadened her horizons and her repertoire, so it's good.
Yeah. Agreed. But the other women's title wielder is Stephanie Vaquer. I always get twisted on how it's pronounced, but versus Raquel Rodriguez again, right? This is like, didn't they wrestle last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. This is for the title, though. I thought it was a good match. That was a great match. Not too impressed?
No.
Why?
Because I've already seen this match. Why are you giving me stuff I've already seen?
Yeah.
Plus, the outcome wasn't even different. You just had Nikki Bella show up again to mess it up. We all know Nikki Bella is going to be up against Stephanie Vaquer, so why don't you just get to that already? Well,
I'm hoping this really signifies a turn for Raquel Rodriguez.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Because she's got to have a belt on her by Mania. She looks the part. She's huge. She can work, and she's good in the mic too.
Yeah.
So she's got everything going for her. I think taking a belt off somebody will propel her. Maybe she's gonna go against Maxine. Or
but she wins the Rumble.
She absolutely could win the Rumble, being that all, those bigger, taller people end up having more success in the Rumble. Diesel, Kane, Taker, those guys, because they've got more presence, and it's the idea of getting them over the rope is harder,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. I just don't like the Devil's Kiss move. I think that's one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's just done because you get to see her ass, but that's it.
That's it.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. But yeah, then we got the Usos.
Yay.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
And then the final match, Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio.
Who do Usos go against? Let's just give him a second here.
The New Day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyways, Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. there's the second they get. Listen, okay, the Usos, they got we know why they're back together, and it's only to make Jey Uso turn heel. That is the only reason.
Why is Jimmy Uso wearing black trash bags as gear? I don't understand.
It's a homage to his wife, right? Doesn't she wear trash bags?
Oh no, but
I thought she wore trash bags and caution tape or something.
yeah, no, her gear was cool, but
Yeah,
his gear just looked like trash bag, man. It's just like, come on.
I don't know.
Again,
They're whatever.
if you guys are going to be together, you guys are brothers. First of all, you guys should be wearing similar gear,
Yeah,
and when tag teams don't wear the same gear, it's doesn't work.
AJ Styles and Dragon Lee.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, but whatever. And then finally, Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, hang on, let's talk more about Jey Uso. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was like, let's end the show. Yeah, Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. I actually thought this match was pretty good.
Absolutely.
Any match Logan Paul's in is always going to be phenomenal. I think he's one of the best wrestlers on the roster that nobody talks about because it's Logan Paul. And I think he's so phenomenal in that ring. And then, we had during this match, we had the rest of the division come out and try to help, and then we had CM Punk give probably the most lightest and friendliest chair shots I think I've ever seen anybody take. Those it was so bad.
Those were softer than the time I smashed Rick Bassman over the head with a metal clipboard. I made sure I didn't hurt him because some believe you should be, going across the head too difficult, too hard. But those were in the back. Lay him in the back, man.
It was terrible. It looked so bad, but whatever. And then we get the reveal of the masked man.
Well, hold on. So the match goes on, and for the reveal, though, he comes into the ring. Mysterio's about to give us 619 or something like that.
He's about to use the brass knuckles that Logan Paul was going to use.
That's right. Heyman passed the brass knucks to Logan Paul. Logan goes in. Mysterio hits him. He drops him. Then Mysterio sees him, goes to go pick him up, right?
And then the masked man comes over, curb stomps Rey Mysterio on the apron, and the masked man stares at Logan Paul. Logan Paul stares back. Logan Paul asks, "Who are you?" The masked man runs off, and the masked man waits on the steps for Logan to win, because Logan pins Rey Mysterio, and then the masked man reveals himself to be
John Cena.
John Cena, and he's back. He's not retired. No, it was Austin Theory, which everybody thought from the beginning.
A lot of people did. I was hoping it'd be somebody maybe, coming back from being away from the company for a long time.
So did everybody in that crowd, because nobody popped.
Yeah. Well, the reveal was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was whatever reveal, and I feel like we knew who they were going to reveal him because the mask was already different. So I was like, oh, so they're gonna take it off, and they're gonna reveal who it is at some point, and they did, and I was just like, this kind of doesn't excite me at all.
Yeah, it was an underwhelming reveal. I think that when you're going to do a reveal like this, what you do before the reveal should be very monumental.
Yeah.
To get that heat. But you just costed Rey Mysterio a match who's, against Logan Paul, who
I feel like some people forget Rey Mysterio's even on the roster anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was the wrong match to have, in my opinion. I get what they were trying to do. It was like, Rey's a institution. He's been around for so long, but that's part of the reason why nobody really cared, I don't think. Um, but I think more than a curb stomp was needed. I think if he had the ref took a bump, Logan's down, this guy comes in, does a bunch of moves to him, and not just a curb stomp, but maybe a move of somebody else who's not there, and then another move of somebody else who's not there. And now you're like, holy shit, who is this? But destroy the guy that's in the ring. Get some heat. You just did what you just did for the last few weeks that nobody really cared too much about, and expected to get monumental heat when you do the reveal, and that's just not the right way to go about it.
Agreed.
That's what they did, and now we know who it is, and he's got to come in hot and heavy next week with a big promo as to the why. Is he a part of the vision? This is a Paul Heyman thing. Are they going to put the credit to Paul, and he's just beefing up the vision right now, and that's where we're going with this. I don't know. We'll have to see. Tune in to find out.
I don't know either. I honestly don't care. I'm focused on Gunther. I want to know where Gunther's going. I everything else doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to tune in and watch it just to hopefully get surprised. But I don't know. Austin Theory, whatever. It's not a guy that I think I've seen too much from. So
I like him. I think he's great talent. I think he's good on the mic. He's been out for a while. They saddled him with the other guy from New Day for a bit. What was his name?
Grayson Waller.
Yeah, which I thought was awful. So to go from that then to the masked guy and the Vision, it's a bit of a leap. But they can make it work. Redemption is a hell of a thing, and next week he can redeem himself with a great promo on as to why he's now with Paul and those guys, and it's a whole new era for him if he can make it work.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But other than that, you have anything else you want to add? Anything else on the mind? Anything?
No, just sit back and enjoy the shows, man. Just take it for what it is. I mean, like it or don't like it, that's the whole point of wrestling. I went through the years of watching a plumber and an ice hockey player and a guy that skins gators and as characters and all that, a trash guy and a plumber and all those things. But, you take what you can from it and just go along for the ride. It's one of those things, and for people to just constantly just say this is wrong and this is not how I want it to be. It's like you shouldn't have it the way you want it to be.
Yeah,
it should be this emotional roller coaster. That's what wrestling is all about. And we'll see what Gunther comes up with next. But I think that if Edge or Jericho comes back, that one of those, I think having Jericho team up with Gunther or at least be aligned with him, and then Gunther turns on him and retires him. Stuff like that is going to be huge for Gunther. And, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see where the Vision goes. Braun Breaker, his promos, on fire. Punk, his promos, on fire.
Yeah, Punk's promo on Raw. We didn't really talk about that, but it was a good promo.
Oh, yeah. It's a great promo. It was a great promo. I mean, making fun of his dad and his uncle and Steiner math and all that. That was hilarious. And that is the old CM Punk, and now we're back to more of an edgy, product. They're kind of dropping more of, some language that typically they don't use, like bitch and all that stuff, and hopefully we see kind of more of that.
It's not being overused; it's being used appropriately.
Right. And I was going to say that. Hopefully they don't overdo it and they use it in the right places. And because then it just gets like anything else, right? But yeah, wrestling is on the upswing right now, and which is funny because we just lost the biggest star in the last 25 years. But creatively, I think they're on the upswing, and we got the Rumble coming up, which is my favorite event. And if it keeps going the way it's going, maybe I will pay to watch it. I don't know. They might have changed my mind.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I would advise you to hold out a little longer, save your money.
Oh yeah, that'd be a game time decision right there.
Yeah, but yeah, I 100% agree with everything you said. Right now, I feel like it's the best time for them to just excel with their writing team and show what they can actually do. There's it's a lot of setup right now, and the payoff needs to be worth it, and I think it's the direction we're heading. I want the payoff to be bigger than Cody Rhodes winning the belt at Mania, because for me that wasn't that big of a deal, but whatever.
Yeah, well, again, part of that is the lead up to the Mania, right? And basically, it's just two guys gonna have a match instead of this big build where it's more believable, because this whole Cena heel thing wasn't believable, and
No.
The Rock was more involved with Cody, and it was just a cluster. But I want to see these two guys, like Braun Breaker and CM Punk or whoever it is, right now. Their build up right now to their match on January 5th is the best build up I've seen for a match in a long time. A title match, and that's the kind of thing we need. And next week I want to see something from Braun Breaker, or Punk get some heat back, and be backstage, and do something back there where he takes out the Vision one by one or something like that, and then he finally gets the Braun, but then here come the Vision back again to help save Braun, and so stuff like that, to where you're just building up this tension week after week after week. They don't always have to get their hands on each other, because you do too much which I think they do with Cena and Cody, because of The Rock. They did too much before the Mania main event. What's left to see?
Yeah.
So, do enough to where you're really building that tension up, or you're not giving the house away already, and then it all overflows and explodes at Mania.
That's what would make Mania more impactful. I feel like Mania has lost its impact because of all these pay-per-views and all this. Just another pay-per-view or PLE, whatever. But I don't know. Well, I think it's heading in the right direction. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So
good stuff.
Yeah. Well, That's it. All right. That's been the Doyledin podcast. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whatever your time zone may be, don't forget to always stay Doyledin. See you guys.